All right, thank you. Sorry. 19 minutes after 10 o'clock, it's raining out there, Robin. It's coming down. Hey, one of the things that, if you're listening to us, you might have heard us having an interview with somebody. Maybe it's a person with a specific topic, and we go maybe 20, 25 minutes as scheduled, and we run out of steam. We this happens all the time. I'll give you a great example. We had a guy with a shoe store, and 25 minutes talking about shoes, you run out of steam
every week.
And so
it's not just one time. One time we can handle it.
So anyway, but the guy was really super nice, and so we got to know him. And an interesting thing happened in that particular show, and we learned something about this job. And so this was quite a few years ago, actually. It's that the listeners don't really care if you stay on topic the whole 25 minutes. They don't really care in this case to hear about shoelaces and soles and shoe care, right? They were interested in the fact, well, this guy was from England. Mm-hmm. So we were asking him questions about what it was like to live there. This guy had other things about his personal life. I can't remember any of them, but we would talk about those things. And then and if you listen to us now, I mean, the show evolved because of that show. Because of that segment. I mean, we started figuring out other questions to ask that had nothing to do with it. Well, now I have. How many questions do I have right here? I have 50 questions that I can ask. Well, they're all on some cards, and I want to share this with you. Jim Miller is on the phone. He's the creator and editor of something called Savvy Senior. I get the senior price on coffee. Does that make me a senior? I don't.
I think so.
I like
and
it when
I'm savvy.
I like it when I save $1, but not when no. Anyway, it's Savvy Senior is a weekly question and answer column for seniors who and those who support them. He's a contributor to the New York Times, Time Magazine, The Today Show, and the Savvy Senior Special, and he's on the phone today to talk to us about these cards that I was referring to earlier that have questions on them that'll stimulate conversation, which is kind of what I was trying to say. That was a long way to tell you that to stimulate conversation when you don't know what else to talk about. And I can imagine this being really fun with people that you care about in your life. So let's find out, Jim Miller, what this is about. Have the talk of a lifetime conversation cards is what they're called. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Thanks for having me. I hear you like those senior discounts, huh?
I do, but I don't like being called a senior. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that strange?
Let's call them just mature discounts then. How about that?
Yeah. Do you know, one of the questions on one of the cards is, if you could choose your last words, what would they be? I just wanted to tell you, mine would be call me. Just call me. Just call me. Can you imagine?
Like
somebody's at your deathbed. Larry, we're gonna miss you. Call me, and I'll put my hand up to my ear. Call me.
Make sure they bury your cell phone with you, so you'll be safe.
So tell me about the cards. How do we get them?
So the cards are part of a campaign it's called Have the Talk of a Lifetime, and there's a couple reasons behind the campaign and the cards. So the first one is it helps families connect better with their older loved ones. It kind of prompts families to have meaningful conversations about what matters to them most and what they hope to pass on to future generations. The second thing that it does is it helps families have important conversations about end of life and about how they want to be remembered and how they want things handled at the end of their life, because most families don't have these conversations. They're awkward, they're uncomfortable, they're easy to put off. This whole campaign is about having important conversations, and the cards are a great way to do that because, like you talked about, it's a deck of 50 cards. It's fun. The cards have all different types of questions on them. Some of them are lighthearted. Some of them are more serious. And they're just a wonderful way to sit around as a family at the table, put the darn cell phones down, pick up the cards, and be able to answer questions that they can
wonderful
help
idea.
know each other in a more intimate way.
It really is a super idea. And I hear what you're saying. It really does open up some conversation. And maybe there's a sentiment that doesn't get said but is still understood, like the sentiment of love, for example. I like to be silly, but I'm going in a serious direction here. So when my father was dying, which was 2008, so it's 10 years ago already, that was the first time I told him I loved him. in all my life.
Wow. Yeah.
It's because in my family, we never said I love you to anybody but like girls you were going to bed with. That was it.
Oh my!
And you didn't even, that's when you didn't even mean it either.
Yeah, we didn't even mean it. But that was it. You didn't say I love you to anybody.
You're a bad man, Larry. No, you're right. You're right. Families don't talk, and a lot of them don't, and especially older generations, like my dad was a World War II veteran, and you could not get an intimate conversation out of him.
Exactly.
He'd shut you down if you tried.
Yeah.
So these cards are a great backdoor way into kind of getting to know your loved ones. Gives you an excuse to talk about things, and it's fun, it's lighthearted, and then you can learn about some other ones, and it gets you talking, and it gets you into other areas too. You can start talking about answer some questions, and it kind of gets you into storytelling and all that other stuff, and that's kind of a lost art in today's world.
And that can happen in the opposite way too. When the younger ones are speaking to their grandparents or even their parents, then the grandparents can turn the tables on the young ones and say, well, what are you interested in?
Yeah, turn the tables. Yeah,
exactly. It brings everybody involved in it. It does. It's a great tool to be able to do that. So I think it's really wonderful. We have a bunch of different resources on the Have a Talk of a Lifetime website. There's actually guidebooks that can help you make a family tree together, which is a really fun activity that kind of brings families closer together as well, and a lot of different table games. So there's a lot of resources and questions that can help you tap into your family a little bit better.
Your bio said that you had lost your parents within 3 weeks of each other.
Wow.
Yeah, back in 2000, my mom had breast cancer, and she was kind of slowly wilting away. And right before she passed away, my dad had a heart attack and died. So that's how I got into writing about senior issues. I was a caregiver for my mom, and then when my dad passed away, and then my mom died a couple weeks later, I was just kind of lost. So I was doing some volunteer work at a retirement community to kind of help me get through the grieving process. And there I started a column to help promote the retirement community. And it was a question-answer column just to help seniors get answers to their questions. And that's kind of how I got into it. And that was 17 years ago.
Wow.
It's been the joy of my life to be able to, and I've learned a ton. I mean, I didn't know a whole lot when I started, but I've become kind of an expert on aging topics over the years, and it's been a wonderful thing for me. So I'm really pleased to be part of this campaign, this Have a Talk of a Lifetime, because I think it's so important, and it really helps families avoid problems too. Having important conversations about end of life helps families avoid issues, because a lot of people die and they're not prepared. They don't have legal documents, and the kids don't know how much money they have or where the money is, and by having these conversations, it can help you avoid a real mess at the end of their life. And I think that's really important to do, too.
It is. And as soon as we get past the discomfort of thinking about that time of our lives and just go ahead and do it, it is so beneficial when you have all of those things in order. In my case, both of my parents had their everything in order. It was so much easier for the family. And so that would be my advice. And I don't have my stuff in order. I got to do my stuff. I could die today, Robin. What happens?
It's easy to put off. Maybe this campaign will prompt all of us.
I know. Huh? All right. One of the cards says, describe a favorite funny holiday memory. Can I tell you one that came to mind?
Please.
Okay. It was my birthday, so it's not really a holiday, but it was for me. We all went to this restaurant, right? And do you remember the TV show The Weakest Link?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, the lady who was the host of The Weakest Link had a real sharp attitude. She would like say, "You're off the show. Get off the show." She would have this Judge Judy kind of a thing, right? Right? Okay. So the waitress that was serving us reminded me of the lady from The Weakest Link. So I said to my son and his wife and everybody else at the table, "Doesn't she remind you of the missing link?" I said it wrong. I said the missing link. I meant the weakest link. And they're all looking really embarrassed. And I'm thinking, no, really, doesn't she look like the missing link? And they're picturing the Neanderthal man.
Yeah, right. That was too funny.
So, oh my gosh. And then they said, Dad, it's just, you're insulting her. So, no, she knows the TV show, the missing, that's the weakest link.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All of a sudden, I realized what everybody was picturing. So hey, how you doing?
Hey, that's a great story.
All right, so how do we get the cards and the other information you were talking about?
So the website, it's talkofaLifetime.org, and it's all together, talkofaLifetime.org, and you can get the cards there. And like I said, there's a bunch of there's guides that you can download, and there's lots of questions, and it's a great resource. I definitely highly recommend it. It helps you connect with family members, and it helps you kind of figure out ways to have conversation starters, those awkward moments, and it's just a great way to bond. It's a great tool.
It is really, and it's fun conversation starter. Jim Miller, thank you for what you're doing and for taking time to be on the air to talk to us about the cards and everything else at talkofaLifetime.org, right?
That's talkofaLifetime.org. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Repticon presents Rep Today, the one-day reptile event in Gainesville, August 11th. It'll be at the Wyndham Garden at 2900 Southwest 13th Street. Call 863-268-4273 or go to Repticon.com for more information and to buy tickets. This may not be Jurassic Park, but you will be able to have live animal encounters and see thousands of reptiles and other exotic animals. August 11th, Wyndham Garden, Gainesville, because kids of all ages love reptiles. Here is your one-minute news brief from the source. WOCA Ocala police have arrested a 17-year-old accused of shooting and killing a 54-year-old man in the Parkside Garden Apartments Tuesday night. A federal appeals court will hear arguments in a Florida lawsuit seeking disclosure of FBI files that might uncover a U.S.-based support network for some of the 9/11 hijackers. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket company shot a capsule higher into space yesterday than it's ever done before. The New Shepard lifted the spacecraft to an altitude of 74 miles. A former aerial dancer at Walt Disney World has sued the resort alleging gender discrimination, saying she was fired after she became pregnant and went on an 11-month leave. A Florida man is scheduled to be executed August 14th for the 1992 murder of a woman who caught him burglarizing her apartment, and a Florida mayor must apologize to a couple fined thousands of dollars for having their home's exterior painted like Van Gogh's Starry Night. And that is your news brief from the source.
You know how frogs are so hoppy? It's because they don't smoke or have COPD, otherwise they would be flip-floppy. If you want to quit smoking to prevent yourself from croaking, come to A Better You for a good acupuncture poking. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, with A Better You Healthcare to stop smoking today at 352-615-5566. 352-615-5566.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
You're thinking about selling your home, but where do you start? Easy. Call Angie at 352-361-8359. Angie works with you to get your home sold. Angie is more than just an agent with Roberts Real Estate. She's a pro with heart. Call her at 352-361-8359, and you will know you have the right person.
I'm Angie Umpleby, and I'm looking forward to working with you when you call me at 352-361-8359. That's 352-361-8359.
Need help getting something awkward, large, or fragile, expertly packed or custom created and shipped? Call on the professionals at PackMail. PackMail can ship anything, anywhere, and will find the perfect solution to even the most difficult shipping problems. From that big screen TV to an antique china cabinet, no item is too large or too delicate for the professionals at PackMail. Go online to WeShipOcala.com. That's WeShipOcala.com. PackMail.